All right, many thanks for still being there. Of course, Rise and Shine Daily, the Friday edition. And we've been having a couple of conversations. Obviously, before we went on that short breather, we were talking to a lifestyle consultant. Do not forget, Fridays are always our lifestyle Fridays, where we talk about things affecting us, our health, and our lifestyle as well. And so many things have been said this morning in terms of how you get to live your life, especially this Yuletide season. But just to hop on some political activities, do not forget we started off a conversation on political conversations or issues. And let's also remember that this is a political season in Nigeria, so we are not devoid of such conversations. Right about now, we'll also be looking at the Datti Presidential Campaign Council, and of course, all they are doing to actually push forward for their candidates come the 2023 elections. On Tuesday, we had the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi and his running mate in the state, to campaign and woo Nigerians to support them come 2023 as well. So joining us on set this morning is Pius Ibom. He is the Director Administration Obi Datti Presidential Campaign Council. Good morning and many thanks for joining us today on Rise and Shine Daily.
Good morning.
Okay, so let's even start the conversation on the grounds of Tuesday. Akwa Ibom State went agog, in support of the Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi, and we've seen that he's been garnering a lot of support over the few months or past months now. But how was it? An overview of how that went and the impact that will be having on the general elections come 2023.
Yeah, thank you very much. His visit and the rally was largely successful. We had expected a massive crowd, and Akwa Ibom people did not disappoint us. You see, Obi Datti movement is organic, and we did a lot of sensitization before then, because at least we had about 10 days to prepare for his coming. And we went into the hinterland. We sent buses to different local government councils. We sensitized the people, both the Obi Datti movement people and even the ordinary Akwa Ibomites. And on that day, definitely we were not disappointed. He came, though he couldn't come with his vice presidential candidate, but he was around with his wife and large entourage, and they spent 2 days with us here in Akwa Ibom. And I must say that since the beginning of his campaign, Akwa Ibom is the only state so far that he has put in 2 days, and it was largely successful.
So in all of these 2 days, what were the highlights of activities that he had to mark his campaign activity here in Akwa Ibom State?
Oh yes, yeah, there were quite a lot of things that he did. He landed around 2 p.m. and he went straight to business. On the first day, he visited some places, and he had a press conference at the end of the day. And then the following day, which was a Tuesday, he actually started with a parley with the students as early as 7:30. He was there. In fact, some students even came in while he was waiting for them. So you see how disciplined and purposeful he is. Then from the student parley, he now went to visit the Traditional Rulers Council. From the Traditional Rulers Council, he visited the Catholic bishop. Don't forget, he's a Catholic. He visited the Catholic bishop of Uyo, and from there he now came to the campaign rally ground and spent about 2 hours there. And then from the campaign rally ground, there was a helicopter that was hired for him, and he took it straight to the industrial areas of Akwa Ibom State, the coastal area. He flew across the deep seaport area and along the coastal line, inspecting the kind of opportunity, the kind of business opportunities, and investment opportunities in Akwa Ibom State, exploring the potential of Akwa Ibom State, and at the end of the day, he made a categorical statement that he is interested in the deep sea port, and it will be one of the things that he will do when he comes into power.
Okay, let's even, hold on a little bit on whether he has the capacity to do all of the things he's been promising, and even looking at the campaign promises on his blueprint. Let's take a swipe a little bit into your national campaign chairman now. That's talking about Donyo Kupe and the allegation that has trailed him to his resignation. What do you make out of all of this? And do you think that this particular issue is going to have a backlash on the Labour Party and, of course, the presidential campaigns going forward?
No, absolutely not. Because Donyo Kupe is a Nigerian. He has been he has been in government, past governments, for a very long time. We know him. This issue that took him to court did not start today, so it has nothing to do whatsoever with the Presidential Council. It has nothing to do whatsoever with the Labour Party. It has nothing to do with his present position now in the party. It's something that happened a long time ago, and the party and the Presidential Council looks at it as a personal affair. He had a court case, and the court has done its own bit, and the court came up with a verdict. So, I mean, the court has finished their own work, and like an honorable person he is, and the honorable persons that we are trying to promote in Nigeria, he had to throw in the towel. He resigned so that he will not be a distraction to either the PCC or the Labour Party or the election in general. So, Donyo Kupe is facing his own issue as at now.
Okay, then let's even come back to the man Peter Obi. I know that for the longest of time, when they talk about his presidential ambition and his capacity to lead Nigeria as the next president, there's so much that is being said about Anambra State and him as governor at the time and all that he did, even though a lot of people do not also believe that he did that much for the people of Anambra State. I know that one person that has not given him that support yet is the present governor of Anambra State, Charles Chukwuma Soludo. But let's leave that aside. What do you think of the man Peter Obi? Do we see him as someone that is able, to steer the affairs of the country called Nigeria? And I remember also that there was a particular town hall meeting that was held, and Dino Malaye asked a question and looked to see if he was spiting Obi now, and the reaction from Obi, a lot of people lashed on Peter Obi for that particular reaction and says, oh, if you cannot take the heat from Dino Malaye, how would you be able, to withstand all the challenges that comes with governance? And it looked as if he's not a strong-willed person, to take up the mantle of leadership in Nigeria. So let's hear your thoughts.
Peter Obi is not a new phenomenon in Nigeria, not in politics, not in business, not in economics, not in banking. Have you seen his profile? He is very capable. He has been the governor of Anambra State for 8 years, and his achievements are undoubtable. During political period like this, people will look for one small thing to probably try to smear your name. But you see, in all the gang up against him, so to say, it has crumbled. None of it has stood the test of time. Even Soludo himself that came up has regretted. He has regretted what he wrote, what he said.
In what sense would you say that Soludo has regretted?
Because we've not seen any,
because of some later comment from him, officially and unofficially. You see, there is no doubt about the capability of Mr. Peter Obi. There is no doubt whatsoever. We knew what he did when he was the governor. And the most important thing that he has as an asset is his integrity. This is the kind of leadership that we are looking for. This is the quality that has been lacking so much in our leaders.
Now, when you talk about quality, would you also say that we also have other presidential candidates on board? Okay, we have that of the APC, we have that of the PDP that has even been in the verge of becoming a president, because he's been a one-time vice president. That's talking about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. So if you place this, other candidates side by side, are you saying that they do not also possess the same qualities or even more qualities than your candidate?
Well, if you place them side by side, you see the difference is clear.
In terms of what
difference exactly?
Antecedents. Nobody has ever faulted Peter Obi in any way. No official, no case has been brought against him in any way. Even the Trump up cases are just falling like packs of cards. Look at all those other presidential candidates. There are so many stains in their jacket that it's taking them longer than necessary to clean up.
Okay, so let's just ask this particular question before we let this wrap up, because we are out of time. Now, when Peter Obi came up initially and joined the Labour Party to vie for the seat of the presidency, one conversation that was strongly had was the fact that Labour Party did not have the structures in place to be able to push a presidential candidate up to the point where he may or may not win the elections. What would you say currently at the stance of Labour Party? Do you currently have structures? How widely reaching are these structures for the Labour Party? And from where you stand, what's the likelihood of a Labour Party becoming the next ruling party in Nigeria?
It's not a question of likelihood. Labour Party is going to be the next ruling party in Nigeria. You see, it's amazing that up till now, people still believe that Labour Party has no structure. Let me tell you, Labour Party is one of the oldest parties in Nigeria. It was established in 2002. Older than some of the parties that you have now, 2002. And one thing that people also don't understand is that Labour Party is a child of the labor unions. All the 44 or so labor unions in Nigeria came together to form Labour Party. And if you look at the structure of the labor union, there is no local government area in Nigeria that do not have labor union. I'm talking about the Nigerian Union of Teachers, Nigerian Union of Journalists, and Medical Association, so many. About
are you currently leveraging on these unions to penetrate the
grassroots yes, areas? We are. In the Presidential Campaign Council, we have a directorate that liaises with labor union, both at the national, at the state, and at the local government. So we are harnessing, we are using that structure.
All right.
Labour Party is the most structured party in Nigeria.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pius Ibom, Director Administration of Datti Presidential Campaign Council. It's a pleasure having you on our set this morning. Obviously, because of time, we could not delve properly into the matter, but we hope to have you some other time as in progression of the show. This is where we have to draw the curtains on today's show. It's been a wonderful one. Thank you very much for being a part. My name is Janice Kobom. See you again next week. Merry Christmas.
My name is Iyanieka, and thanks for being a part of the show. Thank you to everyone who made today's production successful. Definitely, we'll see you again next week. Merry Christmas.